Welcome, friends, to Lizards of the Toast. And this is going to be a quick one. It's one we've already talked about. I just want to go over my 8-rack list because I'm getting tons of emails at lizardsofthetoast@yahoo.com about people playing my 8-rack. And they're saying, you seem to be having more success with this than I am. And have looked at these deck lists. This deck is like Burn in a way. Oh, what's this? Very interesting. What a strange number. All right. In any case, I'm going to go over it. In every instance, these decks I noticed were running Grief. Now, if you go back like in our channel like 6 to 8 months ago, you'll see when we were running Scam Rack. Mono Black Grief Scam, Grief Evoke with the Rack and Shrieking Affliction, however you want to do it. But the only person I'm seeing right now online that is playing the Rack correctly, in my opinion, is, and I mean, I'm sure there's plenty because it's a popular deck amongst us weirdos, Big Friendly Gamer. Big Friendly Gamer, big shout out, man. I love what you're doing with your channel. Totally enjoy it. I watch every video. So you guys get out there and watch Big Friendly Gamer too. And you build an 8-rack like that, you're going to be mighty happy. Mine's pretty much the same, but I got a little different. So we're just going to go over this really quick. We'll just consider this an update and a public service announcement. Don't waste your money if you're not going to build it like Big Friendly Gamer or like this, because there's no wiggle room on this. So right now in the main deck, I'm running 3 Dothi Voidwalkers. Douthy. I have 1, 2, 3 Orcish Bowmasters. Now, oftentimes there's 4 of these, sometimes not those. This is a very actively evolving deck. Now, I'm sure, like, if you watch Big Friendly Gamer and see how his deck evolved, it's like a linear pattern. I notice on his channel, Scam Rack, to this. And I think he's dropped the Bowmasters for just a playset of the Douthies. But I digress. So, even this, like, I think like the playset, each of these is fine. But when it comes to discard, so I have 2 Funeral Charms and 2 Fatal Pushes and 2 Sheoldred's Edict in the main deck, okay? So these are our removal. These are really important. This is what you need. Funeral Charm is a Ragavan hate piece, my friends. So these you really need. Not to mention, it's got instant discard. So if you fear that your opponent maybe have top decked a miracle card, hit him with a Funeral Charm, buddy. So we got 2 of these, and sometimes I feel like 3 of them could work. But in any case, we just keep the 3. Or the 3. We keep the 2 with the 2 Sheoldred's Edict. Now here's where you can have some wiggle room. Right here, I have 3 Inquisitions of Kozilek and 2 Raven's Crimes. So, if you look at Big Friendly Gamer's list, he runs 4 Inquisitions of Kozilek and 3 Raven's Crime. But I like Blackmail better, because target player reveals 3 cards from his or her hand. You choose one of them, that player discards that card. So that can be land, that's very open-ended. And I think as great as Inquisition of Kozilek is, there's nothing wrong with a playset of these in here, man. I ran a playset. I think it's great. Nothing wrong with that. You can go ahead and do that. Target player reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it with converted mana cost 3 or less. That player discards that card. You notice I'm not running a playset of Blackmail, right? See? I'm keeping 3. I didn't even drop to 2 of these, right? To add 3 Blackmail. I've tried it. What I like is right here. I like 3 of these, 2 of these, and then these Raven's Crime, I like 2 of these. And the reason being, I use 2 of these because I run Smallpox. And I notice Big Friendly Gamer also runs Smallpox. Actually, I think he was using Smallpox before me. So, Thoughtseize, there's no moving that. I don't know why you'd want to, really, unless you're really trying to conserve life. In that case, I guess you could. So, I don't see much wiggle room there. Now, with Smallpox, that's why I run those Raven's Crimes, just 2 of them. Because each player loses a life, discards a card, sacks a creature, then sacrifices a land. So I don't want to be discarding land, so to speak, right here with the retrace, by discarding a land card in addition to paying its other costs. I don't want to discard land. I definitely don't want to be doing that. So Smallpox is a wonderful card, but it is one that can be sideboarded if you're going against certain decks. Now, here we go with the Planeswalker. We have Lily here. Lily. Now, Big Friendly Gamer calls his deck Lily's Amazing Rack, which I think is hilarious. So, Lily is like a creature in and of herself. She is having discard going on. She is making players sacrifice creatures. I don't even remember what that is. But you get it. I'm just teasing. We know what that is, but who cares about -6? These first two things, that's what we like Lily for. So we're running 4 Lilies. We have 1 Pithing Needle. And then the rack, of course, we run 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Nile's Spellbomb. Sacrifice it. Exile cards from a graveyard. We can seek it up with our Urza's Saga. So, Urza's Saga, right? Urza's Saga. What can we say about this card? This card is amazing. I think this is one of the best things to happen to Modern. But these 1-mana artifacts, we can get away with running 1 of these because using this and paying that black mana, just getting that extra card draw. Another thing I've noticed, like people telling me that they're not having the luck that I've been having or the success with the deck. Right here, this is something. No wiggle room here. No wiggle room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And guess what? This is why it's 8 rack right here. Somebody says it's not 8 rack. So those are like racks, right? And these are racks. So that's why it's 8 rack. Now, 8 rack used to be Shrieking Affliction. I don't know why I put the Spellbomb down there, but I did. In any case, you need this. What you've seen here, you can wiggle a little bit. If you don't want to use blackmail, if you want to go using the blackmail, maybe take it down to 3 Thoughtseize. I guess that'd be okay. That kind of thing. But when it comes to certain things, you cannot get all willy-nilly by saying, just like with Grief and stuff. Anybody that's played these decks, and chime in, if Big Friendly Gamer watches this, let me know, when you were playing the 8 rack scam, did you come into it where it's like, man, bringing Grief, scamming Grief out of the graveyard, it was okay. But having those extra, reanimation, those extra undying spells was just, it really ate up too much deck space to effectively be an 8 rack deck. And that's where I came into the problem. So now let's talk about this sideboard here. I'm thinking about running 3 Turok Dreadcanters, actually. Right now we're running 2 of them. But I am actually feeling a need to maybe run 3 of them for sideboarding against Hammer Time and anything with white. Is just, this card is brilliant against white. So, oh, excuse me. Coffee, sir. Oh my goodness, indigestion. So, Duthi Voidwalker here. You know who says it like that? MTG Goldfish, Saffron Olive. He says Duthi. He's like, can you play the Duthi Voidwalker? The Duthi? I think it's fun. I like to say Duthi. So Duthi Voidwalker. We got 1 in the sideboard to give us a full playset. We have 1 in the sideboard of our OB here to give us that extra little punch we need if we're going against some heavy card draw, like Prowess decks and Storm. This against Storm is wonderful. Anything where people are Manamorphosing and stuff, we're definitely going to be running 4 Bowmasters if we're going up against some Manamorphose type decks. Surgical Extraction. Such a hard cut, but I cut Extirpate and just have the 2 Surgical Extractions just because it's such a tight slot. When I was running 3 Surgical Extractions and an Extirpate, or 2 Surgical Extractions and 2 Extirpates, I was using the scam version of 8-Rack. So therefore, I wasn't as aggressively dismantling my opponent's decks. So I needed something to take out combo pieces or remove lightning bolts and remove like heavy hitting pieces, combo land, not lands, any type of artifacts that may be essential to their game plan. But in this, we can get away with 2 because we're getting them to discard anyways. But surgical extraction, removing a ley line of the so like say like opening hand, they don't have a ley line, but they draw into one on turn 2, and you can get them to get rid of Ley Line of Sanctity and then surgically extract that. Then you don't have to worry about that enchantment being a bugaboo. But honestly, I haven't been seeing too much of that. Not too much Ley Line of Sanctity this year so far. So Fatal Push just to give us 3. Love this. Love the version of it. You could, yeah, I wouldn't run 2. I like 3. 3 is the magic number. Now, Ley Line of the Void. I hate this card. Big Friendly Gamer was talking about how much he hates this card. I bet I hate this card more. Maybe not, but I think I do. I hate it in every format. I just hate this card. I hate these Ley Line cards. People say, yeah, it's because your pet deck got wrecked by it, huh? And yeah, it is because my pet deck got wrecked by Ley Line of the Void. That's exactly why. My rogues, man. It was very different and very cool, and it was in the days when the boy played blue a little bit. So, got 4 ley lines just for that graveyard hate, and I gotta say, it does take a lot of the guesswork out of matchups to have 4 slots filled by this in the sideboard, because then you're like, oh, it's there anyways. So right here is a card that, unique to my deck and some of the older, it's Ensnaring Bridge. We had some drama with this card. These 2 are just fine. These are very real Ensnaring Bridges, and a real Ensnaring Bridge got sent to my buddy for his commander deck. So that's good. Everything is in place and all is right with the world. Creatures with power greater than the number of cards in your hand can't attack. So this is perfect for us. By the time we cast a 3-drop artifact, we are probably going to have like 2 cards in hand. So that will just shut them down. And also in the sideboard, we have this interesting card here, which I think is so cool. These Phyrexian artifact creatures, I don't know what it was, but something about the cards with that symbol, I really liked these. Like the one where you could put damage on it. I ran it when I was running the Rot Priest Storm. I had a couple of them. Very similar to Hex Parasite, an artifact creature. So we have our other Pithing Needle in here just to get that in there and name something else. Like some other fetch land, right? There's our ley lines, okay. And I think that pretty much covers it. But I really want to stress, don't go outside the box. If you want to play mono black scam, okay, just play Rakdos scam or Orzhov scam. Just play a scam deck. And if you're going to be running Sheoldred, just don't even play 8-Rack, because you know what? You could make a really good mono black deck, man. Yawgmoth, Cabal Coffers is a sweet, sweet fun deck to play. And if you like the rack, Cabal Coffers is super fun. And at the cost of these, this deck, I would say Cabal Coffers is probably cheaper. And it'd be a lot less racking on your brain, maybe, too. However, I'm going to say it one more time. I may just create like a little thing just for like talking about the rack. Like I'm going to do one for Burn, I think, and I'm going to put like a database on my channel or whatever, like the rack, the torture room, okay? So we'll probably put these videos here where we talk about the rack and changes and how it's doing. But right now, how this is, I like it like that. And I'm having some success with it, so I don't think I'm going to touch it much. And I am anxious to see the future of the Orcish Bowmasters, and I really want to see where the Big Friendly Gamer channel goes with 8-Rack, because I cannot stress enough, if you want to see really great rack content, and the guy doesn't give himself enough credit. He's always joshing on himself. He's a great 8-Rack player. And it's a very creative, awesome deck, so definitely get on there. Big Friendly Gamer. I think it's like, yeah, Big Friendly Gamer 1992. Love the channel. The uploads are awesome, and like all the great things on YouTube, doesn't get near as many views as he should. Thanks for joining me, and definitely not trying to tell anybody how to play a game, but I am getting some messages from people that follow the deck list. They're like, this is awesome. My friends hate me, but this is so fun to play. And when I let my friends play it, they love playing it, but it's not so fun to play against necessarily. But it wins, and I think it's going to be a deck that'll sit in the meta just like Burn, if you play it correctly. So I think just like Burn in the meta, this can sit and be kind of like outside the box and call it an eternal format deck in true form, because it can't really change that much. But if you want to play Scam, but don't make it rack. And I bet Big Friendly Gamer would agree with me. Maybe not, but I think so, because I don't play the Scam version of this anymore, and I don't think it's near as good. And I have a feeling that Grief is going to see the axe anyways. That's what word around the campfire is in the circles I travel in, is that Grief is, they've definitely got some eyes on Grief, as it were, for some banning. Well, thank you for joining me, and let's get here a little Rainbow Brite here. The brightest, happiest deck in Magic the Gathering, and that's why I keep it in this wonderful Rainbow Brite with the Hulk Hogan skin. We have the Hogan skin sleeves in the Rainbow Brite. And I think this is probably the favorite deck I own. Yeah, I think this is taking the slide down the bench prowess. So you guys join me, and don't forget, like and subscribe to videos, because it really helps the channel. And it helps me find the gumption to get up every day and make these green apple goodness here. So thank you. You guys are the best. Go ahead and make your own torture rack to put your friends and family members on that you play this wonderful game with. Thank you so much. Oh, I see my face. Oh my gosh. Ugh.